Hello and welcome to my knife channel. Well, I got in 3 knives today, but I'm just going to do a video on this one right now. This is the Ryder 533. This is the earlier version of basically the Kamp King. And I'm just doing a comparison between the two. I've already looked at them and weighed them. They're almost identical in weight and pretty much everything else. Uh-oh, dead battery. It's not a good sign. There we go. It's hitting the wrong button. Wasn't a dead battery, it was hitting the wrong button. Alright, in grams. The Kamp King, 116 grams. The older Kamp King, 118 grams. Put it in ounces. 4.18 ounces compared to 4.09. So barely noticeable. One thing I did notice is the mainsprings that this is running on are thicker than the mainsprings on this one. Like the blade stock is only slightly thicker. Let's go in millimeters. There's no half stop on this. They have a similar type of blade. Just want to get the... It's like about 2.5 millimeter blade stock. Let me get up here by the Tang. 2.84. Let's try it on this guy. This one has a half stop. That other one does not. .235. So yeah, the blade stock is a little bit thicker on the older one, along with the springs. Let's see what else we've got different. This point on this one here just comes down. It's not swaged or anything. This one, they crowned it a little bit. They just rounded it. Like a lot of other ones you see like a pinch type of thing. This one's rounded a little bit, so there's a little bit different on that. I've noticed also, let me see if I can zoom this in. It's got several different markings on the blades. Like this one's a Rough Rider with a Y on it. That one's a Rough Rider with an I. There's a Rough Rider with a Y here. This one, that pull starts off like about a 7 or 8 and turns into almost a 9 or 10 right here. There's a lot of resistance and then it frees up. I have no idea what this one is because I can't really see it. It gets down in there, and by the time it gets like that, if you shine a flashlight, these letters basically almost become invisible. So your guess is as good as mine as whether that was a Y or an I, because you can never see it when the Tang is deployed, when the blade is deployed. And the main blade is Rough Rider with a Y. I think we've got everybody. We've got the can opener. Did we look at the awl? Rough Rider with an I. Alright. While we got this out, there's a difference in the awl's shape. They both have... Get this one's awl out. It's all or nothing. You can see that the Kamp King one is a little bit shorter. We can measure that and find out. The working portion of the Kamp King's awl is 37 millimeters. And the old version, you've got, I'm trying to touch it down there, 40 3 millimeters. Sorry, you couldn't see that. Didn't realize I was zoomed in again. Yeah, let's go back. Alright, so that's one difference, is the difference in length. The other one is, this one has a triangular type of shape to its blade. This one is also triangular, but it's got a swedge down here, you know, like a cut. And then, let me see if I can zoom this in. This is kind of an intricate type of awl head on this one. See how it's like rounded here, and then it's flattened here. So your initial cut, your initial hole, it's going to start digging, and then it's just going to start widening out. I'll have to practice with it on leather. This one seems like it would be consistent and uniform throughout. I think they both will work equally well. I don't have any leather right now to mess around with. I'll have to go find a belt or something, an old belt, and stab it, make holes in it. The other difference is this bail on the older one is looser, and the pin, you can see how this jumps up and down. It's tight. It's tight on the new one. It's solid, and it has more resistance. Might be the way they squeeze this in on here compared to that. You can see that this one flops around a little bit more. It doesn't make a whole lot of difference, just this one feels more secure. Let me check the thickness on these guys too while we're doing everything in millimeters, because this bail feels thinner. It's about a 2.1 millimeter. Yeah, they're the same, but this one, I think this pin is definitely got me curious now. I gotta check even the, well, see, that wouldn't matter because this is flattened out afterwards, so this is not an accurate way to check pin diameters, go on the head of a flattened out pin, but they look similar. I don't know, maybe this hole was bigger in this one. Anyways, going to the can opener. I've never used one of these type of can openers where I guess this is just your depth stop. I don't know, I'm gonna have to try a can out with that and see what that's like. This the Kamp King has the really good I've used these a lot. These are actually better than like electric can openers. A lot of times I just like to open a can with it. I saw another video where somebody had I think it was Hobo on YouTube, but he had a knife, an old knife that had a scallop in the top and a scallop in the bottom, and you would stab the can down like that and then turn it around and lift it up. So you'd have all these sharp edges and jagged edges. They improve over can opener designs over the years, and that's just one improvement. Alright, the can opener, like I said right here, you can start it off. There's also a scallop, as you can see, a cutout that you don't have on this side, and you don't need for the can opener on this one or the bottle lifter. There is still a scallop over here to get to the awl on this side, but on, like I said, on this one it's got two scallops on it. This cap lifter, like I said, there's some resistance going on right here. That's kind of crazy, and then it gets real loose. And then it snaps in fairly decently. So your walk and talk, this guy's kind of crippled on his way opening. He needs a little assistance. But it works out fine when it opens up. Let's compare the bottle cap lifter blades. This one appears to be a little bit longer here. Just appearance only. They made up the same. This one has less of a hook Usually the more you've got of a hook like this, the better it's going to work as a can opener, or a bottle lifter. Just depends. This is a bottle lifter, but yeah, this cap lifter's got a sharp hook like this. Usually get it first time every time, and this thing is a hit or miss. Like, so I'm gonna have to get some stuff out and try it on the leather awl and the bottle opener. The main blade on this one is, we'll turn this one in inches. I think it's like a 2-inch blade, maybe 2.5. Yeah, it's about 2.3 for cutting edge, and all the way up to the bolster, you're getting about almost 2.5, 2.44. I believe they're the same length. This one looks like it's got more of a belly. We'll measure that. So we've got a 2.48, almost 2.5-inch cutting edge on this one to the bolster. About 2.61. Yes, this one, you can't check the width of the blade here. 0.63 as opposed to 0.53. So just minor differences on it. But I'd have to say right now, without giving it away completely, I prefer the new Kamp King over the old one. I like the way the improvements that they made to this. Even though we have thicker blade stock, you don't have half stops. Not a huge difference, but it's nice to have a half stop in a non-locking knife, just to give you that little extra, hey, you better move your fingers out of the way. You won't get that warning from one without a half stop on it. Yeah, I like the amber bone on it. It's got some fairly big gaps back here, but doesn't really affect its performance. Let's zoom in on that. Yeah, there's some gaps here. But like I said, it's no big deal. A little bit of a miss here on the thing, but really I don't take a super critical eye to these things, other than just checking them out for function. But as far as fit, I usually just am amazed at how well they get. This has not been cleaned up either. You can see a little bit of that rouge in between the Rough Rider and everything. But yeah, fairly decent knife, but you're not missing out unless you are collecting like I was, just collecting different types of camp knives and stuff. You're not missing out. It's actually, I think you're doing better with the modern version of the Kamp King that Rough Riders come out with, as opposed to the older one. Excuse me. What's our model number on the new one? Yes, the 1987 Kamp King, I believe, wins over the 533 Rough Rider 533, but they're not bad. I mean, you don't get the half stop. You get a little bit smaller blade, but you're basically getting the same. You're getting a different can opener, a different type of awl. Like I said, this would be more for someone who's just collecting the different variations and stuff. I'll wind up using them, but overall, oh yeah, that's another difference, is you've got brass liner down here in the center, where they just went with stainless steel. They did have a brass liner on the outside. This one did that also. And then they had a brass liner there, and then another one. So yeah, there are very slight differences between these two. But overall, oh yeah, that was another thing, the thickness of the handle. I think they're about the same. They were like 0.7 inch on each one. Yeah. So yeah, pretty good little knife. You're not missing out on much, other than it'd be nice if they offered this amber jig bone in the Kamp King also, or different handles. What I'd really like is canvas micarta, like either that green that they make or anything else, but I really love micarta. This bone isn't bad. So there you go. There's my comparison between the Kamp King old and Kamp King new, I guess. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.